Good morning, everyone. My name is Mr. Arohu Shafe. I would like to discuss with you this morning the continuation of the topic that we treated last week, which is the main component of computer system. The main component of computer system. Now let me open my slide. Yes, I can see that every one of you can see my slide. On this slide, we have three objectives. The first one is identifying input and output devices. So which we are going to learn how we can identify input and output devices. The second objective is identifying and list examples of peripheral devices. So at the end of today's lesson, we are going to learn how we can identify and list out some examples of peripheral devices. The last objective here, which is the third one, is the description of storage devices, which is a secondary backing storage. So let me start with input devices. Let me move to the next slide. So input devices. Input devices are pieces of hardware that get raw data into the computer ready for processing. Ready for processing. It means before computer can process any raw fat, that raw fat must be entered or presented for the computer to process. And don't forget that the means or way of presenting or entering data into the computer system is what is called inputting. And the devices used are called input devices. Now, input devices can be classified into two categories. The first one is manual input devices. The second one is automatic input devices. Manual input devices need to be operated by a human to input information. So it means that these devices can be operated upon with the help of a human being. With the help of human being. For example, if you want to enter a particular data through keyboard, you as a user must press the key on the keyboard before the system can do anything about that data. Now, automatic input devices. Automatic input devices can input information on their own on their own. It means that all these devices can be operated automatically. Now, what are the examples of manual input devices? We have keyboard, mouse, microphone, scanner, numeric keypad, light pen, touch screen, digital camera, and webcam. All these are examples of manual input devices because they can be operated by a human to input information. Now let's move to the example of automatic input devices. Number one, here we have magnetic stripe reader. So this can work automatically to read or to scan data. The second one is magnetic ink character recognition. Magnetic ink character recognition is another example of automatic input device. Then the next one is a chip and pin reader. Then another one is automatic mark reader. So we use this one to read or scan any data relating to multiple choice. Then the next one is optical character reader. So we use this one to scan or to read special character. Then the last one on my list is barcode reader. We use this one to scan or to read any barcode at the back of your product. Yes, I hope I am communicating. And let's move to the next slide, where we are going to discuss output devices. When imputed raw fat or raw data has been processed, it becomes usable information. So, output devices are pieces of hardware that send this usable information out of the computer system. So don't forget that some output devices can send information out temporarily, and some can also send information out permanently. What do I mean by that? I will explain. Temporary output devices, for example, monitors. Your monitors, which constantly refresh the outputted image on the screen. Not only image, even your document. Monitor can review your document on the screen. It will allow you to see your document on the screen temporarily, because that document or image is yet to be printed on paper. So at this stage, we can refer it as soft copy. So that is what I mean by temporary. Now the next one is permanent output devices. For example, your printer which output information onto paper as a hard copy. So this one will give you the opportunity to see your document printed on paper in form of what? Hard copy. Now we have different examples of output devices here on the screen. And the diagram, you can see the diagram there. You can see all the pictures there. The first one is CRT monitor, which is cathode tube monitor, and the second one is TFT monitor. TFT monitor. So this one is a flat monitor. It does not use technology of cathode tube. It's flat. It's flat. You can see that the back is not big, unlike cathode tube monitor. Then on the screen you can see the three types of printer. Here we have laser printer, we have inkjet printer, and we have dot matrix printer. Now the next one is plotter. Plotter is an example of output device that we normally use in the industrial company. We use it to print large size of document. The next one is speaker. Speaker is a good example of output device. We use it to brings out sound. Now the last one on my list here is multimedia projector, which we normally use in the class. So this one will allow you to see what you have projected on the screen. Am I communicating with someone? Yes. Let's move to the next slide, where we are going to discuss peripheral devices. Now, what is peripheral devices? Peripheral devices are non-essential hardware components. That usually connect to the system externally. Peripherals are called non-essential because the system can operate without them. You can still be working on your system without connecting any peripheral devices externally. So that is why we classify them as peripheral devices, because they are all non-essential hardware components. Now, what are the examples? Number 1, keyboard. Number 2, mouse. Number 3, microphone. Number 4, webcam. Number 5, scanner. Number 6, joystick. Number 7, speakers. And the last one on my list here is printer. So all these are examples of peripheral devices. I hope I am communicating. Yes. Now let's move to the next slide, which is the last slide for today's lesson. Storage devices. Storage devices, which is secondary backing storage. Secondary backing storage devices are used to store data that is not instantly needed by the computer. What do I mean by this? If you want to back up your document and you don't need that document presently, you can back it up for future use. So the device that you are going to use is what is called secondary backing storage. It's one of the examples of external storage. So secondary storage devices permanently store data and programs for as long as we need. These devices are also used to back up data in case original copies are lost or damaged. So that is the benefit or function of using this secondary backing storage. So there are two categories of storage devices. Number 1, internal storage, which we have discussed before now. We have discussed that one last week. Internal storage, we have Uh, we have we have RAM and ROM. We have external storage too, which is hard disk, or your flash drive, Though for secondary backing storage, it can also be divided into two. Internal storage, that is the one you can find inside, that is the hard disk that you can find inside, that is the inbuilt one. Then the external storage, which is the external one, the one that you can remove. We call it movable hard disk. So we have come to the end of today's lesson. So by the special grace of God, I will post this material on your Google Classroom for you to download and study. So next week, I am going to set questions from this material, which all of you will answer and submit immediately. Thank you, and God